Hi, Trevor here for the Hobby Organist channel, and just nice to start off with something a bit jolly and lively this morning here at the lovely Lowrey Inspire. So I've got a bit of a creaky bench this morning, so excuse me on that. Let's see if I can shuffle around. Thank you for all your nice comments again over the weekend, and hope people enjoyed Tom's demonstration of the organ sounds on the Ringway. Well done to the people who spotted the or recognised the song that I played at the very end of the last video. I mean, firstly, actually, congratulations for anybody that made it all the way to the end of that video. I apologise for going on for so long. But at the end of the piece, I set a challenge of recognising a particular piece of music that with the string sound went a bit like this. And the piece it was correctly identified by only about 2 or 3 people, so kudos to you, was called Bilitis, or Bilitis. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce it, but it's a very haunting, lovely melody. And it's a song that I came across when I was a child, when I was learning to play the organ, and I heard another organist play it, and it took a lot of research to find it and find the music for it and be able to play it. But I remember after I discovered what the song was, I was in a video shop. And that was back in the days when you used to have lots and lots of videos all in a rental place, and they'd be all over the place, and there'd be hundreds and hundreds to choose from. They'd all be laid out in front of you, all covers facing forward. And I was quite surprised one day because I spotted Bilitis, and I was like, oh, wow, Bilitis, that's the piece of music I've been trying to play. And I picked up the video cassette and realised that it really wasn't a movie that was suitable for somebody of my age. It was an 18 movie and was a little bit saucy. So if you do Google Bilitis and look it up, be careful of what things might appear on the computer screen. Anyway, digress. So a few things to talk about today. Today's a very important day. We're going to finally talk about pedal magic and the button down on the side of the organ, so we'll get to that in a second. But firstly, I want to talk about how we're going to have to change and adapt with all the things that are going on in the UK at the moment. So for people who are not in the UK, all our friends in America and around the rest of the world, the lockdown situation that our business has been under is being eased on June the 15th. And so that means that we are going to be reopening the showroom, and me and Tom almost have to go back to our regular day jobs in the sense that we are manning the shop floor and have people coming in the shop. The shop for the past 12 weeks or so has been completely shut down, and so we've had the luxury of having the showroom to ourselves to record these videos, and of course lots of time to film them and edit them and get them put online for everybody to be able to watch. So we have a bit of a dilemma coming up in the sense that when we get to the 15th, a lot of our time is now, in fact already, our time is taken up with getting the shop ready and getting our business back on its feet and getting things back to normal. However, we don't want to abandon what we've been doing here. This was an idea that I had right at the very beginning of the lockdown of, maybe recording a few videos, maybe 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, that would give people ideas and a little bit of encouragement to play the organ while they were stuck indoors. I never imagined that it would end up being such a massive success and being so important to people, and we are very aware that how supportive playing the organ can be emotionally in these very troubling times. and the content has become quite massive. So we've recorded, I think now on the channel there's nearly 25 hours worth of instructional videos, which is far exceeded what we were expecting to do, and far exceeded what we're allowed to do via our agreement with YouTube. So me and Tom have been discussing how we can continue this going, because we want to continue supporting our Lowrey family around the world, our Lowrey community, because even though lockdown is coming to an end for businesses, obviously lots of vulnerable people are still stuck at home. So we want to keep doing some content and keeping what we've created here going, the hobby organist. This is a very important thing to us. So what we've come up with is to move the channel into what we call a subscription basis, which means that all of the videos will be for our subscribers, and all future content will be for our subscribers. Now, to pay for the hosting of all the videos and all of the internet stuff that goes with that, we have to go to a different company that will take care of all those expenses for us, and that means that the subscription will have a charge attached to it. Now, me and Tom are going to still give our time free of charge, so we're still going to be available to record the videos, but because we can't use the shop floor anymore because it's open to the public, we're having to build a proper little studio to record these videos in, and we're going to buy some more equipment so we can actually start filming all these in high definition, and also take direct feeds from the organ so the quality of the sound is a lot better, and also we can wear microphones and everything. Initially, when we started doing this, we just grabbed a camcorder and started filming, but we want to do these videos now in a much more professional way. In fact, my computer now is already full up with all the videos we've made so far, so I need to buy a new computer as well. So there's lots of expense that's going to be attached to us keeping the channel going and doing the support. So what we're asking is that people that are going to support the channel, if you subscribe, the charge is going to be $14.95, so just under £15 a month. And for that, you have obviously access to all of the content we've done previously, all of the new videos that we're going to post. We're going to continue posting 3 videos a week. We're going to do lots of exclusive content because we'll have a studio and more equipment to do some more interesting stuff, like we can do live online lessons. We'll be able to set some one-to-one sessions up. We'll be able to do little mini concerts. There's a whole raft of things that we're able to do. But we need your support to be able to do them. So if we can get enough people to subscribe onto the new channel and sign up for the $14.95 a month, then we can continue doing what we're doing. We can still have access to all the videos we've done, but we can do a lot more exciting, interesting things. And as I say, that the charge, we've spent a long time working out what the monthly charge, what would feel reasonable, and the marker that we've used is actually the cost of a lesson. So if you came to our store in Great Yarmouth, to our showroom, and had a one-to-one lesson with one of our teachers, or Tom or myself, it would cost $14.95. So you would pay that for 1 half-hour lesson. So we feel that that charge for a whole month's worth of lessons, which is going to be several hours worth, and as I say, by being a subscriber, you're able to send in questions, and we can answer specific questions for your organ, for any questions that you have that relate just to you and your organ, or something that you don't understand. So we feel that $14.95 is fair. That will give us the money to be able to continue hosting all the videos that we've done. It means that we can get the studio done. It means we can get the new equipment to film in HD. I can get a new computer so that we can edit it all properly. So it means that we can continue doing what we've been doing and make it a lot better as well. We can kind of build. But this is one of the things actually that's really struck me during this time, is this wonderful sense of community that we have with everybody that loves playing and enjoying their Lowrey organs. So we genuinely hope that you can join us on this journey, and there's going to be a video that Tom will record and put on later this week that will go through the details of how you can sign up to the new channel. And if we can get as many people as possible, that means we can continue doing what we're doing. As I say, me and Tom really enjoy this, and we love the feedback that we get from everybody, and we know how important it's been for everybody. But it's just got to the point that now we're out of lockdown, we have to look at a different way of carrying forward with it, because, as I say, it has grown into something much, much bigger than we originally anticipated. So I really hope you can join us. I think it's going to be great fun. We're very excited about it, and I think it's going to be a great bonus to everybody who enjoys the hobby of playing the organ, and we can have a lot of fun. So that's the speech out of the way. Obviously take that in, digest it. If you've got any questions, feel free to give us a call. We're in the store all the time. If you're in the UK, it's 01493 842 887. If you're outside the UK, it's 44 1493 842 887. Or of course you can email us, or you could comment on this video, and of course we can reply to the comment. I think this is going to be really exciting, and we can have a lot of fun in the future with this. Anyway, so speech over. And let us know your thoughts, as I say. And today, as I said, we're going to look at pedal magic. So this is quite an interesting little feature. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause the camera and move it around, and so that we can see the buttons and what I'm doing on this organ. And we'll have a little explore of the pedal magic. So if we had our new system, we're going to have several cameras. I wouldn't have to do this, but anyway, we'll have a little pause and we'll come back and look at the pedal magic. So here we are again. So today we're going to look at the pedal magic feature on the Lowrey Inspire. Now, pedal magic is one of those buttons that probably you haven't even noticed if it's on your organ. I'm trying to remember when it was first introduced. I'm guessing it was with the Sterling edition. It was an innocuous little orange button that suddenly appeared on the side of the organ. And funnily enough, it's something that we don't really talk about a lot, but for me it's a really interesting feature, and it's a lovely idea. Because the idea behind it is to try and encourage us just to have a go at the pedals. It doesn't mean that it's going to make us into that we're dancing up and down the pedals and doing all incredible things, but it means that we can have a go at playing the pedals. And for a lot of people, obviously, and we encourage this, we all play with the automatics. I do it myself with the bass lines, but there are some situations where it's nice just to do your own pedal, or to do something simple. And that's where the pedal magic can encourage us to have a go at these things that are sticking out on the floor. So, pedal magic. Do you know, it's one of those features that we've talked about in videos when we've introduced it on models, and it's always been a slightly difficult thing to describe, but bear with me on this one. So, we're sitting at an organ which has nothing set up. We're just on our home page, so we've just got the regular organ sound. And so if I would normally sit down to play this organ in the manual sense, I would play pedal, chord and the melody. So I would go... spent many years learning to play the pedals, learning to play chords, learning to play the melody, and put that all together. Now, on the Lowrey organs, obviously we don't have to play the pedals. We can press the easy button and we hold down the chord, and we hear the pedal note being played for us. Fantastic. It takes away the need to play the pedals. And of course, if we put a style in with that, not only will the organ provide us with the pedals, it will provide us with an accompaniment, and that pedal line, rather than just being static, it will do what they call an alternating pedal line. All great. All those things are absolutely wonderful. Playing things completely manually, using the easy button without the rhythm, or putting the rhythm on and letting it do its whole thing with the alternating bass and playing out a rhythm. However, a lot of people do look down and see these pedals on the floor and think, it's a bit of a shame them sitting down there not doing anything. I paid all this money for them, they look really nice. Let's get a bit of use out of them, so let's have a go at playing the pedals. Now the problem with playing the pedals, and I don't shy away from this, is it's quite tricky. You're playing something with your foot, and generally your feet aren't designed to do things that are particularly accurate. And you're not supposed to be looking where your foot is going, so you're supposed to find these pedals. And play them without looking at them, which is quite a tricky thing to learn to play. So why would you want to do that? Well, one, there's the personal satisfaction of just having a go and playing the pedals. But secondly, there is a bit of an advantage of playing pedals yourself when you're not using a style. And this is the bit that I really love about pedal magic. And that's because when you play with a style, obviously the pedal line is beats out a rhythm. It does what they call a pattern. So if you listen when I put that style back on, we just turn everything else off. You can hear it's doing a pattern. It's not just playing the same pedal. Now, if we don't have a rhythm on and we use the easy button, listen to what the pedal is doing. Not very exciting. It's just sitting there doing a drone. It's not beating out any rhythm, it's not doing a pattern, it's just holding what we describe as the root note of the chord. The root note of the chord is basically the name of the chord. So for example, if it's called the chord of C, the root note is C. If the chord is called F, the root note is F. And that's generally, when you play the pedals, that's the pedal that you would play to go over a chord. So if you play the chord of C, you'll play a C pedal. If you play a chord of F, play an F pedal. You can probably guess what happens when you play the chord of G. Yep, you play a G pedal. But what musicians don't do is just hold that pedal down as a drone. If I was going to play pedals myself, I wouldn't sit here and go. It just doesn't sound very musical. And in fact, we get loads of comments. So I go back to this thing and people say, oh, that lovely Lowrey organ sound that you play. Well, you may notice that when we play the lovely sweet Lowrey organ sound, we don't generally have a rhythm on. We're playing the pedals manually, because if we try and use the automatic bass, we just get that drone again, and it doesn't sound very musical. So there are two reasons for wanting to use to play the pedals. One, it's a challenge, and so it's a bit of fun. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong, it doesn't matter, nobody's listening. It's nice to have a go at them, so they're sitting down there doing nothing. But secondly, it does give you this ability to play in a slightly different manner, because rather than having this droning bass, you can actually have a nice bass. How much more interesting that was, just having that pedal beating out a rhythm rather than just sitting there being static. So pedal magic is there to help us with this journey on learning to play the pedals, because as I said at the beginning, it's not easy playing them. They're down there, you're doing with your foot, you're not supposed to look, and there's a lot of them to try and hit and miss. So the pedal magic is there to try and take the guesswork out, or the hit and miss element of playing the pedals. And it has two main ways of working, and depending on the Lowrey organ that you're sitting at, you have different ways of selecting that. So I'm sitting here at an E series, and so when I press my pedal magic button, if we zoom in on that a little bit there, oh wait, there we go. When I press pedal magic, beside it there are two select keys, and that allows me on the screen, if you can see that, to choose two functions. We're going to ignore the fill and glide one for the time being. There's one that says long and short, and one that says get close. I'm going to leave it on, first of all, long and short. Okay. Now if you're doing this on an A series organ, if you're on the Sterling edition, to call up that screen you'll have to hold down feature clear and press the pedal magic button, and that screen will come up where you get to make the same choices. Now let me adjust the camera again. So it'd be great if we were in our studio now and we had all these different cameras. Maybe I should have waited until we had all that. I'm going to draw us out a little bit so you can try and see the pedals that I'm playing down here. That's good. Can you see that? Brilliant. So, as I said before, when you play the pedals, you generally play what we call the root note of the chord you're playing. So if I'm playing the chord of C, we will play a C pedal. And that's my foot gone down there and press the C pedal. If I play an F, I have to bring my foot up and play an F pedal. And then to do a G, oh, going over the split point, G pedal. Now, a lot of the time you've got to be looking down really to find when you're first playing, and it's not the easiest thing in the world. Just let my shoelaces undone. Excuse this. And I have a terrible pair of shoes at the moment because you're not able to buy shoes because of lockdown. So, and of course it's easy to miss the pedal and not hit the right one, or sometimes it's too far to try and bring your leg up this far to get to the G. So what pedal magic does, and this is really, really clever, is that when you're on this long and short option, and the reason why they call it long and short is because we have some long pedals, and we have some short pedals, and so it's using the long ones and the short ones. What the organ now does is that when I play the chord of C, the organ knows that we should be playing a C pedal. So what it does, it makes all of the long pedals a C. So it doesn't matter if I miss and hit a D, it still comes out as a C. If I miss all the way up here, it still comes out as a C. Now if I play an F chord, all the pedals become F. See, it doesn't matter which one I press, they're all going to be F. If we go to G, keep going over that split point, let's turn that off. They all become G. See that? Now that is really handy for somebody learning to play the pedals, because one of the sort of fears that people have when they're playing the pedals is that they're going to obviously hit the wrong one, it's going to sound awful, and people are going to think, oh, it's dreadful. And of course bass is a very large, it's the foundation, it's a very large part of the sound, it's the foundation of the sound. So if you get it wrong, it does really sort of clash with the rest of the music. So this means that you can at least practice using your foot on the pedals without worrying about getting the right one or it sounding wrong, which is brilliant because it's encouraging you to have a go. But what it also means is you can now do this interesting thing I was saying, where you can at least make the pedal line tap out the beat or have some rhythm to it. So rather than it just being a yeah, that we had from the automatics, we are now free to keep pressing that pedal and tapping out the rhythm. See, I was jumping around and playing the right pedals. Well, if I don't want to do that to begin with, maybe it's difficult for me to move my leg that quickly or to move all the way up here, and I just want to have some practice at tapping out that rhythm and getting something that's different from just the static yeah. Well, because the pedal magic is changing the pedals, I don't actually need to move around. I can get all the different pedals that. So that one pedal at the bottom is actually C, but it's changing to follow the chord that I play, and it means I can tap out that rhythm. So I can get this nice suddenly makes that sound a lot more interesting. I'm not having to do all the pedal work moving up and down or worry about hitting the right pedal. But what I'm able to do is give the piece of music some rhythm, a bit of life, that pulse to it. If I didn't play with the pedal magic and I just put on the easy button and played my chords, static bass line again, it doesn't sound very interesting. But with this, and we all naturally tap our foot normally along with the rhythm. I think that's absolutely brilliant, because you don't always want to put a rhythm on. A lot of people says to us, you know, yeah, it's all well and good for you and Tom, you can keep up with the rhythm, or you know exactly which one to put on. But also there are some pieces of music where you don't want a rhythm on there. You want something simple, like we were just playing with this nice organ sound. You don't almost want it polluted with all the other stuff that's going on. So that nice simple style we can get, and we're still making it interesting, but all we're doing is tapping out the rhythm with the pace. And now I think that's a genius feature, and if you can have a go with that, and just get your foot doing something with the rhythm there, it opens up this different style of playing that can make your music a lot more interesting. Yeah, I think that's a brilliant feature. Now, we said that feature, or the mode that we're using at the moment of pedal magic, is called long and short, and I pointed out that we do have long and short pedals. So, what's the difference of doing a long one and a short one? Well, this is the really clever bit, is that when I was learning to play the pedals, if I just turn Pedal Magic off, one of the first things I learnt to play on the pedals is what they call an alternating bass, or swinging my foot. And you see organists do this all the time. Is that when I was just playing now, I was obviously playing just what we call this root note all the time. Well, what you can do is actually swing your foot between the first and the fifth, like that. So when you hold down the C chord, you get this nice alternating bass. Or F, you go between C and F, G. And I spent a lot of time as a child learning to do that. And it's a lovely style for playing the organ if you're playing a swing number. Essentially, we're doing what a pianist would do if they're playing stride piano. All that kind of thing, where the vamping is changing, is going. We're able to do it with our foot rather than have to move our left hand. So it creates this lovely thing. If we're worried about finding the right pedal in the first place, the idea of having to swing your foot between two pedals while you're playing is quite a challenge. As I said, I spent a long time as a child learning how to do this. But Pedal Magic has an easy way of doing it. So let's press our Pedal Magic back on. And we said that Pedal Magic at the moment is set on what we call long and short, which means all the long pedals are doing what we said the root note. So if we play a C chord, they're all playing a C pedal. Yeah. The short pedals though are playing the G, the pedal that I would normally alternate with. Isn't that clever? So these are all C, these are all Gs. So if I want that lovely alternating bass effect, rather than swinging my foot from one side to the other, all I need to do is go from long to short, long to short, long to short. Brilliant. So I can get that lovely alternating bass effect just by moving my foot between long and short pedals. Doesn't matter which ones I use. I've been doing the ones at the end here, but I can do it up here. If your foot is more comfortable there, wow, brilliant. Great feature. So, let's put the camera back up. Hello again. So, homework for tonight is if you're lucky enough to have an A series organ, so from the Sterling upwards, or an E series instrument, and you've got the Pedal Magic button, and you've never tried playing the pedals, have a go tonight at just doing what we've described there in that video. Now I'm very conscious now that the video is getting quite long. As I say, we are running out of space on the channel, so we're going to have to split this one into two. So tomorrow we will continue doing the pedal magic and look at the other function on it, which is called Get Close, and also what else the pedal magic can do for us, because even if you're not going to use the pedals, it still can be quite a useful feature. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope that's given you a bit of inspiration to have a go with the pedals, and so tomorrow we can develop it a bit more. Please take on board the bit where we've explained about June the 15th. That's going to be a very significant date, because that will be the day that we won't be on here anymore. We'll be moving across to the subscription channel. So have a think about that. If you've got questions about it, just email us or put comments on there, or give us a telephone. And look out, say later on this week, Tom will be doing a video that will explain very clearly how you can sign up to the new service. And say we sincerely hope you can join us there. So have fun with the pedals, and I shall see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.